And here with James Monroe Matt Sauvage. Matt, great game by you guys tonight. I know this probably never gets old being down here and having to look at me after these, but this is your fifth game down here in the last couple of years. First of all, how would you classify tonight's game? I think if it stopped after the first quarter, you would have said we didn't do anything, we played terribly, but you did the other things you needed to do to win, which includes your defense.
Yeah, offensively, it was rough, especially in the first quarter going into the second. I didn't feel like we were executing the way we should have. But overall, defensively, you look up at halftime and they have 15 points, and you're like, well, we're doing something right. And so, offensively, it wasn't the best. We were getting the right looks, but sometimes we weren't making the right decisions, or we just weren't putting the ball in the hole. And basketball is one of those games where the orange ball's still got to go in the rim to get your points. And I felt like at certain points, it just wasn't falling for us.
I don't want to beat the dead horse here on the Colin Fox 10 steals. You gave a great answer in the presser about why that was. It's because other guys, you're trapped, you're doing things well, other guys doing their job. But for him, on a personal level, when he wasn't necessarily shooting the ball, 3 of 12 tonight, does that show that you guys understand as veterans, when it's not falling, there's still things you can do?
Yes.
Some guys, it gets in their head, but they're not hitting, and everything goes. But,
and these guys, they're so experienced. I mean, they've been doing this so many years together, and so they realize, if one thing's not going right, then I'm going to make up for it with this. And so, what Colin does great is he reads the game, and our guys are in the traps where they're supposed to be, and he's able to read what that offensive player is trying to do out of that trap, and so he reads the seams and. That's one of his best things on his defensive end is reading what the offensive players are going to do, and he's reading it before they even do it. And so, 10 steals, that's a great individual accomplishment, and it shows part of the team accomplishment with that.
He kind of came to the fore last year down here at the stadium. It seems like Owen Jackson kind of following that trend, and he's got 14, he's got 16, 30 points in 2 games. And I've asked you this before, but can you expand on what he's meant to the team to be able to step up like that? Two of your big three. That's what their coach said. We wanted to, focus on the big three, try to stop those guys. We helped off of him to try to do that, and he scored 16. It's what he's meant to his team to give you.
And that's what you need. And Owen's one of those guys. He's our 6th man, but he's one of our 6. The top 6 there that's able to come in and contribute. It's not necessarily because he's not a starter. He could be a starter for us very easily. But what he gives us off the bench, because, most teams are going to try to focus on those 3 and should. They're really good players. But Owen's able to take advantage of that and be able to put the ball in the hole.
When you're seeing things going, 2 of your big 3 really aren't shooting the ball well. And Burks did finish with 12 points.
But he caught fire a little better in the second half, a little bit better.
When you see that going on to you, and I think Eli's a kid who plays by feel of the game.
He does,
Do you ever just say to yourself, come on, man, drive to the basket and go ahead and put it up there?
Well, normally, yes. Down here, you got to be careful. You get in that paint and somebody falls, the charges are wealthy down here. And so, so we're telling our guys to really watch that compared to what we would do in a regular season game. And so we're really watching how hard we hit those seams. And so we've had to change up a little bit of the offensive side with the way we drive. But, that's part of the game is adjusting the way it's being called.
I mean, you look at the stats at the end of the day. Eli's got 26, 7 and 7, I think, whatever it was. Again, you said it the other day, just you look up and he's put together another complete
game.
Yeah,
he just fills the columns.
Quietly.
Yeah, and you don't even realize it, but he fills those columns up pretty quick. And so, and that's not even the best part of his game, which is the great part. It's the best part of his game is the way he contributes with running the offensive and defensive end with his mouth, with his play. But then he also takes the players around him and makes them better. And that's a sign of a great player.
But again, the difference in this team and last year's team, what do you think it is? Is it defense? Because I think that team played defense well, but not like this.
Yeah, we played great defense last year, but this is a different type of defense. We've had to make some switches just because of personnel, and so it's a different defensive type of team, and it's more intense. These boys are a little more intense with their defensive pressure, and so we've changed up that side, and of course offensively. I'm not saying we didn't have other wealth on the team other than Chad and Eli, but this year the wealth is spread, and that helps a team greatly on the offensive end because who are you going to guard tight? Okay, if you're going to guard them tight, then it's your turn to score, and so that helps also.
Both teams, you've seen Tucker. Tucker's seen you this year. You got the win there. It was a tight game, 7-point game. Any advantage either way, you think?
A little bit. Both teams have changed a little bit. We've changed up our defensive styles since the last time we played them, and watching them today, they've changed up a little bit of what they've done, and so it'll be a little bit of a chess match, especially at the beginning of the game, and then we'll see how it goes. But we're definitely excited to be in.
Well, again, with that second quarter, I'm sure you're hoping for a little quicker start.
Yes, 100%. We're always looking for a quicker start. We're just trying to figure out how to get it.
All right, Matt, great job. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Dave.